Is he gon' make it TBD, huh? Thought I was gon' run DMC, huh? I done died and lived again on DMT, huh? See, this the type of high that won't come down. This the type of high that get you gunned down. Easy trolling OD, huh? Turn TMZ to smack DVD, huh? Russell Simmons wanna pray for me too.
Yo,
I'ma pray for him 'cause he got
episode
me too.
27.
Yep, 27.
Upon us.
Who's 27?
I don't know.
Steve Atwater, 2027.
That's a good one. Steve Atwater, who did he play for? Denver.
Yep.
Broncos. It's a good one.
Can't think of no more.
Steph, you've been pretty solid with the numbers.
Hey, man, I'm
the
not.
last few
Hey,
weeks, dog.
Lately, he been
Props on that one, dog.
Right.
he gonna say lately I've been on it. We all good for at least a good one.
I just said I give you props, so you want to pick at the props?
No, but you have to
Hey,
say
hey,
lately.
hey.
Lately, you
So
good.
Usually he don't pass props out very much. Hater of the year over here.
Not
So you
hater
better
of the
take
year.
it where
Don't
you
do
can
too
get
much.
it.
Don't do
I
too
ain't doing
much.
too much. You solidified that.
Sorry that I'm objective.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take it.
All
We
right.
good.
Last week he got it. This week he got it. Like I'm just like he been on it lately.
All right.
Lately I done had the strangest fifth. Big week for hip hop though.
Huge week.
Down.
Big week for hip hop. 2 major projects dropped. 2 very major, concise projects.
And they were. And they were.
Kanye's Ye album dropped on Friday, and so did Black Thought's Streams of Thought. Is that what it's
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Volume 1.
EP.
So let's kick it off with Ye. Let's kick it off with the much awaited Ye album. Man, so let's song by song breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
Song by song breakdown. First song. Well, first let's start off here. Album art. What did y'all think of the album art? I was expecting the whole his mother's doctor and forgiving her and all of that. I mean, forgiving him and all of that stuff. And then we got the picture of the mountains on the way to his album listening.
We got the Apple's wallpaper.
Yeah. Right. Windows 95.
but I think the caption to the picture,
Dope.
I hate being bipolar, it's awesome.
The album art didn't move me. It was what it was, and I went straight into the music.
The actual writing was dope to me. Like the I hate being bipolar is also was so dope to me. I feel like that kind of set a tone for the album to me.
I can see that.
So thinking about Killing You, as we jump into that, what did you guys think of this track as a whole?
Once you got into the music, first of all, the production right away is awesome. I mean, that's consistent throughout the album, but this particular song, the production is dope. It caught me off guard, and I guess it's just I was more so a prisoner of my own thoughts in this. Is what he gave me on Pusha T's album led me to believe I would get a similar feel throughout this album. So then when the song actually came on, I was thrown off. I was befuddled. I was like,
befuddled,
what?
my nigga.
I was like, what is this? I was like,
for real?
I was like, I just didn't expect what I heard. So the first time through the album, it definitely just, I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know what to think.
Well, let's just speak first track.
Right. I know, but I'm talking to this is still my first initial feeling of how it came on. It caught me off guard. Once we got into the musicality of it, and he actually started to rhyme after like 2.5 minutes or whatever it was, I kind of started to get into it a bit more. But the beginning, I was like, okay, what's really going on?
I thought it was
here?
a dope setup, man.
So I thought it was a great rant. I'm with Steph.
Yeah, both
I
y'all
think
niggas weird.
Nah. well, anyone going into a Ye album expecting Pusha T is
For real.
to be.
No, I didn't
So-
expect no. So then you missed whatever I was
didn't
talking
miss
about.
it. I just twisted it like you twisted it. That's all.
Alright, you still weird, nigga.
I live with that. I don't really care. But So
I knew you wasn't gonna care.
yeah, I could care less. Hi everyone, I'm Brandon. I just don't care. So
That's your album cover.
He's consistent, ladies and gentlemen.
so I thought about Killing You. So I love the rant to start out. I thought just the sound in the background and stuff. I knew we were setting up for something epic to me. I love that the rant didn't have like it was a very melancholy type of rant. But I also think it spoke a lot to being bipolar and like the killing like that. Because he loves himself more than this disease. You know what I'm saying?
I dig that.
And so as he kind of talked through it, it was still left to interpretation, right? He never fully just said, this is who I'm killing in this situation. But he made it very clear that this portion of this side of him, like, he wakes up thinking about killing it every day. Yeah. Because he loves himself more than this. So it still gave you the, I'm arrogant Kanye, although I'm dealing with something. And, like, I'm not going to lose who I am even though I'm dealing with something.
I just thought he was like, I love myself. What makes you think? I thought about just that's deep.
Yeah.
If you think I'm not gonna do something to you, I thought about doing it to myself.
Exactly.
Why wouldn't I do it to you?
Yeah. Yeah. And then how he addressed, like, I think this is the part where I'm supposed to, like, pretty much try to associate myself with the rest of the world and make myself be like everyone else so that they can agree with
I'm not
me.
gonna do that.
But I'm not, right? Because that's not the space I'm in. You don't understand. So that was dope to me. I also, as the beat comes in, I'm in love with the overall vibe of the track. And then I think Ye's ability to play on words has always been dope to me.
Yeah.
So so he played on it like it was a suicide, like calling his loved ones and all of that stuff, calling the Muslims and all of that.
Calling my cousins.
Yeah. So he played on
dope.
he played on all of that. But I think after the beat change, when he really gets into, my favorite part is when, and I don't know if y'all interpreted it this way, but when he's shooting shots at Cole and Rhyme Fest for like 12 bars. Yeah. So I'm gonna just tell you what I got really excited. Yeah, when he let so when he addressed false prophets, but also addressed Cole with a subliminal talking about buckwheat, we gonna be old tape. Like, I was dead. I'm like, dang, if Cole don't know that shot's for him, that's a lost soul right there. You talk about Ye's a lost soul.
He's a pretty intelligent dude. I'm pretty sure he caught that.
I'm sure, right? But the whole lead up to it,
yeah,
you could feel the subliminals, and I knew who it was directed at. I was just waiting for when he made it clear enough for the real hip hop heads to say that's who it was for.
Yeah.
And then he switched to Rhyme Fest, as he started talking about going back to the braids and the wave cap, and all of that stuff, and just addressing that situation. Like, I was like, yeah, this is like the Ye I wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you got your rocks off in the first track, without doing a typical Ye out of control rant, just totally out of control. Like, it was still directed. You shot your subliminal shots, and kept it moving. So is that, and I think that the, like, Frito-Lay must owe this nigga like some advertising money or something. As many times as this nigga bring them up, man. In verses, like, these niggas need to, like, cash him out, man.
Either that or that's the reason he gained his weight.
Probably is. That's why he shot him out so much.
Like, the chips did this to me.
He was eating Frito-Lays with everything, man.
Yeah. Not to get too off topic, but did you see he did he coming out with Yeezy's house now? That's another subliminal shot at Rhyme Fest.
Donda's house,
yeah. So I guess he gonna do his own thing for the inner city youth or whatever. I was like, all right, hey, take matters into your own hands. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah. But so I thought that this was a dope track. And it wasn't a subtle change. It was a very aggressive change in beat too.
Oh,
when
yeah,
that
in the
mood
middle of the
change
song.
into where he's attacking the people that have attacked him. So I was glad he finally said something about false prophets, but didn't go overboard.
Yeah.
You know, so I was great because Ye has a tendency to go overboard. I was glad that he addressed, Rhyme Fest here. As well, but didn't do too much.
Yeah, he didn't get all the way into his feelings about
exactly.
Because Ye can get off on a tangent.
Especially with a wound that's so fresh for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
Like, usually, so I think one thing that I heard here, I thought this was a great intro to the album. Like, so I was really happy with this track as a whole. When we get into next track, Yikes. Man, Yikes had kind of like a 808s and Heartbreaks type feel to me, coming in with the whole vibe of the track and things like that. But another great play on words as he's playing with the drugs and to be determined and all of those things throughout the first few bars. I was like, okay, because the beat was cool. And I always expect some of this type of stuff from Ye, but it wasn't that track that I'm just gonna be in love with from Ye. So,
this the one they said that where they're saying that Drake put the pen to sheet for.
Yeah,
sound like Drake.
But my thing is, I'm surprised that even if you're gonna get the invoice or whatever, you should usually get a production credit on that too. He is not listed in the production credits at all.
Oh, not even that right.
No, so yeah, that was kind of odd. But if that's what they're saying, that this is the one that he did, it sounded good. I liked it.
Quentin ain't on his track listings neither. So
message.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I thought it was dope. Just how he incorporated DMC and then went back for Russell Simmons. Talk about he want to pray for me too. I'm gonna pray for him because he got me too. What if that would happen to me too? And then I'm on E! News. I was like, yo,
he killed that joint.
Yeah,
I thought that was fresh.
Yeah, I love when someone has the ability to dress something in a few bars and keep it pushing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Not stay and dwell in that space. So that was really dope to me. Yeah, like I wasn't a fan of the chorus like that. Like it wasn't that dope to me. What part did Drake put pen to the sheet for? Man?
I don't know.
Is that because
to
that
me
just felt like a hook?
To me, it sounded like the whole thing, cadence wise, Drake.
It sounds Drake-esque.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually like it. I think it's a decent song.
It's cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's by far it's not the best song on the album, but it was nice. I liked it.
I loved how the second verse started when he was like, "A hospital band, 100 bands, Apple Watch, 100 grand will make your best friend turn to ops."
Yeah.
So because that obviously is directed at Rhymefest as well as his cousin, who remember tried to hold the laptop at ransom for 250 bands, but then they settled on like 100 bands,
something like that.
Yeah, so like around 100 bands on it. So
and that was on The Life of Pablo where he addressed that issue.
Yeah, because it happened before that time frame. So when he got to that album, he addressed it. So I don't know. This is something I've always hated about hip hop. Is cats bragging about sending chicks to the plastic surgeon, man.
Well, these last two good music albums we didn't.
That's all we hear, right. But I don't know.
It's something that's a rib out.
Right. I've never. That's never been one of the fun things to be braggadocious about to me. Like, I'm not for the fake chicks, so maybe that's why. I find it funny because I guess it's dope that you have the money just to do so, but
nah, it's not. It's not dope, but I mean, but to each his own. If that's what they want to do their thing with, I mean, so be it.
Yeah,
I ain't judging. I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's not something I would ever do with my money, man. But
we here on that one.
But yeah, decent track. I think the rapping made the track dope to me. It wasn't production wise. It was cool for me. Chorus was trash to me. It kind of had a Cudi feel a little bit to me, like Cudi wrote it, but it was more
I didn't
Kanye vibe.
Yeah, I didn't get the Cudi vibe on this one.
I got I'm talking about Cudi more so as like words, not the actual singing and stuff. That felt like
I didn't get it.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling.
I got Drizzy all day. Drake.
Yeah, but I'll say this. I can't say that I heard Drake prior to that, but now once they said it, I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds. I can hear.
I still don't hear Drake like that.
Yeah,
I still don't hear Drake like that because the tone and stuff wasn't catchy enough for me to be Drake. Maybe if I go back and listen to it some more, but yeah, possibly. All right, next track. Next track was All Mine.
Worst track on the album.
Why?
didn't like phonetically. It just didn't sound good. As soon as I heard it, the production is dope. Like I said, production throughout the whole album I thought was cold. As soon as I heard it, it just reminded me of what's Buddy name? Future on with the what's the track he had on Black Panther with the da di da di da slop on my dog. It reminded me of that. So I was like, no.
Hey, we
bro.
know how you don't like that track.
I despise
I ain't have a problem
that
with
crap.
this one either.
So the
I ain't have a problem with this one either.
it's more so just the hook. The actual verse, his verses was cold. Especially the line about the titties and can focus on two things
Two
at
things
once.
at once.
Bomb.
That's
I
that
was like,
clever.
yo, that was clever. Kanye
That's that
is
clever, yeah.
So I mean, I like the verses. The hook was, I just definitely didn't like it. It's not a bad song, but it's definitely the worst.
He
song
killed
on the
his
album
verses.
to me.
Starting off at the Kerry
the
Washington joint was
Yeah.
dope, man.
If I pull up with a Kerry Washington, it's gonna be a tremendous
The
scandal
scandal.
or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, he killed it. The verses phenomenal. Just
You
did
know,
not
on
like
a
the hook.
scandal. I could have Naomi Campbell. It might still
Yeah.
want me a
Stormy Daniels. That was cold. The
Yeah.
verses was ill.
Yeah. Then he do the Corey Gamble's joint in there.
Yeah.
So the verses were killed to me. I actually liked this chorus a little bit. I can't front like I didn't. Like I actually kind of liked this one. I liked the production on this one too. It was cool to be. So I was actually happy with this track. He still threw the Tristan shot that wasn't really a shot.
Christian Mingle.
The Christian
Yeah.
Mingle.
Yeah.
So, I love when we get a lot of clever yay. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So we
Yeah.
got a lot of clever yay here. And we can move into the next track. Next track was Wouldn't Leave.
Super dope.
That
I
was
like
a
that.
very
That was
dope
dope.
This
track.
song was cold.
Yeah.
I like
very
Transparent, yeah, man.
dope. And that's what I was gonna say. This
I like
you feel like this
Transparent,
is probably his most transparent project.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
You
'Cause
know?
I can't really say there's any other project that I thought was extremely transparent from him.
Okay, so
Which one came out after his mom passed? Was that
808s and
808s?
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe that one, but I mean, I can see this rivaling in transparency. So I can't say one or the other.
Mhm.
I would if for me to have to pick one between the two, I would probably have to listen to them both back to back. Obviously, because I'm really delving into this one right now and dissecting it, I can see your point for this one being more transparent. Because even more so than Pusha's album, I've really tried to dissect this from a bunch of different angles.
Yeah, I did
This
the same thing.
this album I've played a lot. I probably got about easy 20-25 spins off this album already.
I ain't got that many, man.
So
I got about 12.
I've dug real
So
deep
thinking
into
about
this
this song, like, of course, it addresses a lot of the issues that people have had with things that he's said recently,
Yeah.
as well as just thinking about his marriage and pretty much where his wife is with a lot of these situations, and pretty much echoing everyone's sentiments. Like you know, when I heard like she feels like they're gonna lose everything.
Yeah.
I think that's more important to her, or I always have felt like that's more important to her than anything. Like his mental health or anything like that, just that they're gonna lose this.
You know,
don't
he
think
started the
that-
track
I don't
off
think that-
like
I don't-
that.
as soon as
I don't
right-
think you mind enough.
Wait, no, I was gonna say. So, now what I will say is that over the past few weeks, I felt totally differently about Kim K, and I think the Rhyme Fest situation, as well as just how she's signing off on the track listing, but in a cute way, not in like. You know what I'm saying? A normal Kim Kardashian, we control the world type way. But a lot of things I think I felt differently about around this album time frame as opposed to how I felt about Kim K previously. I still am not particularly fond of her, but I do think that they truly love each other. For real. Even after this album, that made me feel even more so that was true. So I think as we get into like the middle of this album, I started to feel that transparency about his relationship, and also just thinking about things from. I've already been trying to think from his perspective, but him verbalizing, you know, his perspective and how out there he is at times. You know what I'm saying? And knowing I'm very out here, so if you're dealing with this, like, you know, I told her she could leave.
Yeah,
You
I
know
gave
what
you
I'm
an out.
saying? I know I'm nuts.
I gave you
Like,
an out.
and you still won't, you know, so ultimately that is what love is. Like,
Yeah.
you know, when you're in your poorest state, are you there? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, this track was very dope.
yeah,
Definitely like this.
True learning about being you bipolar at 39, you know, that's a late time to
Yeah.
learn some interesting
And
some
then-
interesting facts about yourself.
And then
you
it's
know?
not even just learning that, but then learning it in you being the person who you are. When a majority of your life is spent in front of a camera or people in your business or, you know, filming you or, you know, at least you opening yourself up to the public eye. That just makes it even more difficult. So I'm pretty sure it's a tough card to be dealt, but it's definitely making for good music. I say that.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think as far as transparency, this jumped out to me when I got to this point in the album.
Yeah.
I started to be like, man, this is the Ye I think a lot of people have needed to hear.
For sure.
Especially with a lot of his random rants
Yeah, but
and
what's
stuff
been going
like
on?
that.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I don't feel like his music truly reflects what he's going through, but we see so much of what he's going through.
Yeah.
So for him to kind of, you know, put a perspective on it, a more humble, transparent perspective, I thought that was dope.
And that's the stuff that kind of pissed me off when you go through the timelines of people. I'm still not touching it. I'm not listening. But this the
Yeah.
album you should
This
listen
is the
to.
one. Yeah. But
This
I mean,
is the one.
And you know, I told my homies that because this, I know we still gonna dissect the other tracks, but this album grew on me. The first 1 or 2 times I listened to it, I didn't know how to feel, and I told my homie, I was like,
I agree
yo,
because I had that.
I was
the
like,
same
man,
vibe.
I don't really know how to feel about it. Off the bat, the production still jumped off and was like, this is dope. The production is always dope and it's consistent throughout. But I was like, I don't know how to feel about the album. But then I started trying to listen to it and dissect it and absorb it from different ways. And the more I listen to it, the more I like the album.
Yeah, I think anytime, well, for me, I'm immediately pulled to any transparent album. You know what I'm saying? So anyone who is okay with opening up their life or giving you a snapshot of their life in that moment and it not being just braggadocious the whole album, I'm going to be in love with that. Like, Book of Ryan was like that to me.
Yeah.
When I think about, like, Fonte's album, it was like that to me
Yeah.
this year. So, like, I kind of get bored with the braggadocious stuff. You know, at times, I want to hear it, right? Because you don't want no soft rapper or nothing. Like, you want to hear like that. But at the end of the day, I do want to hear the more transparent, like, I'm a grown man music. You know what I'm saying?
I dig
and I
that.
have grown man thoughts and feelings, you know. So, and that, like, self-reflective music is always dope to me. So I felt like this is what we got a lot of within this project within a short time, you know. No Mistakes. So this the joint with the Slick Rick sample.
Probably my favorite track on that.
Believe it or not.
This production was nuts.
Man, it was
to me.
crazy.
Charlie? Boy, stop playing.
Yeah, this production was,
Man.
I'm gonna just
This
be
was
real.
tough.
I had to go order the sample, like go
Word.
order the gospel album that it came from.
That was
like,
what Hawkins, right?
Yeah, Edwin Hawkins. Yeah. So I had to go grab that joint like immediately, just because of how soulful that sound was. And yeah, when you throw Mr. Gap Band on anything,
Yeah.
it's gonna take the soul to the next level.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Charlie killed that. It was dope.
Shout
was
out!
definitely
I'm
dope.
gonna give y'all mans one shout out. Shout out to R. Kelly for bringing Charlie Wilson into this generation of music.
Won't he do it?
Because
Won't he do it?
because
That
Ye,
adds on to the mystique of R. Kelly, man.
I'm not going back, but I think Ye took that wave like, oh, this is dope. You know, it kind of brought
Yeah.
him along for the ride with him. Which there's been a lot of dope tracks that he's contributed to
Oh, a
with
ton.
good music. So
A ton, for sure.
So wherever, you know, Kels dropped them off at, Ye snatched them up.
Yeah.
And so we get these soulful offerings like this. This was really dope to me. Very dope to me. I think production was ignorant. Like,
Yeah.
ignorant. Like, and
Well,
then
the Hey
anytime
Young
you
World
can...
sample.
Yeah. Anytime you can bring in that 80s hip hop and the sample that he brought in was such a memorable sample for people who remember that era of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But bring it into this and give it a soulful vibe too.
Yeah.
was just so dope to me. He addressed a lot of stuff on this joint too.
Quite a few.
He did.
Yeah, so as we got into this more like middle of the album, it became so transparent as he addressed things. I mean, he's talked about the being in debt and stuff, but I felt like it was totally different here, how he addressed it. I also, liked how he just was talking about 2 wrongs don't make a right and all of this stuff and not go Ice Cube and all of that. Like, it was so many little gems throughout this track with that ignorant, soulful beat, too. So
they already mad because the Cubs lost.
Yep. Yeah, so it was so dope to me, man. Like, what did you guys think of it?
That's my favorite. This is my favorite track.
It
rivals.
Dope.
No, I have 2 tracks that's my favorite. This one rivals the one that's probably my favorite.
We haven't got there yet.
We ain't got there yet.
Okay, gotcha.
Him coming.
Yeah.
Him coming. Mine too.
Next track, Ghost Town.
That's it.
This is mine.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite track on the album.
My favorite track on the album as well. We here.
Oh, okay.
This track moved me more than any of the other tracks. This is about to be some real high praise for Kanye. I think that when it comes to being able to just construct everything within a song, I'm talking about from vocals to the way that the features come in, to the way that vocals play off of instruments, and the way that the track is built around certain people. Nobody does it as well as Kanye has. The only other person who I can say construct a track as well was Smokey Robinson. I don't know of anybody else that I can think of right now who does it as good as Kanye. When you look at the different way that he pieced together the features on this song with John Legend and Kid Cudi and the other chick, I think
Shakes.
Yeah, Shake. 07
Shake, something like that.
070 Shake. And the production with Francis and the Lights, my goodness, this track was everything that I was looking for in a Kanye song. He just brought it all together. This is by far the best song.
The musicality on this one was so tough,
man. It was
amazing.
It was amazing.
And I feel like you got Legend in a different vibe, in a different vein than you normally get Legend, which is always dope.
Yeah.
Whenever, I think one thing that Ye has the ability to do is to see people outside of the normal light in which you see them.
Yeah.
And bring them into other things. Like Cudi felt at home in this track, but everybody else, if you would have told me that this is the type of track it was, I would have felt like it was a stretch. Like, but as you kind of got into it, the whole way in which everything, as Aaron spoke to, was pieced together was so dope. The musicality of the track, the way how he brought things in and out, kind of felt like he was taking you on a short journey.
Yep.
Man.
And then he didn't give you enough as far as verses to just totally, he left you desiring more from the track, even though it was as dope as it was.
Yeah, absorb it, man.
Yeah. So even as you left it, you're like, I want more of that. But it was over with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and I like the fact that you brought up absorbing it. This song, I really broke down and really got into in depth with what I felt like he was trying to capture, and is to a point where you go through so much. It was, battling bouts of depression or whatever you're going through, but then once you make it through that storm or whatever that you've gone through, in the end you almost feel invincible because you got through whatever that was. So when Shorty came in on 070 Shake, when she said, put your hand on the stove to see if I still bleed, I was like, yo, that was just so profound to me, man. Like, no exaggeration, I've literally listened to this song probably about 60 times, just on repeat, just this song alone. I just over and over and over, and this song just really spoke to me. This is probably the reason why I like the album as much as I do. It's just off of this song.
I think this is another track, drums wise. This one and the track right before it, where I think he was so creative with the drums, right? Because the track before, when we think about No Mistakes, it's the boom bap with the Believe It or Not, with the soulful Charlie Wilson, like, and I always think back to like Graduation era, where he started kind of pulling in sounds that didn't naturally go together, or that you were like, looking for, you know. And so when you would hear them, you're like, that's not supposed to go together. But the way in which he incorporated them, you're like, oh my God. And so this is how I kind of walked away from this. And then when you get to the Cudi like chorus joint, I'm like, this is filthy. This is filthy.
It was amazing, man.
And like when people kind of talk about the album who aren't deep thinkers or don't want to have to interpret stuff, they speak to this track as being trash, or why did you just have this on there with all these random people? And I'm like, if you're not really interpreting this track for what it is, you've totally lost it, and this wasn't for you.
And just every bar starting with someday or ending with someday, it's, you gotta ride, like you said, the journey. You just gotta sit back and I'm just gonna listen to it.
And if you think it's random, you really just need to delve deeper into what it is. Music for me has always been emotional. It's about what it makes you feel, how you play off of that emotion, make you happy, sad, cry. If music doesn't move you, then I don't know what you're listening for.
I think the other thing that was so dope to me was how, believe it or not, like actually had a meaning. It wasn't just a dope sample that he utilized, but how he kept throwing it in there, like, you know, ultimately what you believe or don't believe, you know, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So continuing to throw that sample out there at random points, just to kind of emphasize what he's saying.
Believe it or not, I still love you.
That's
Charlie, I still love you.
And just how he utilized it throughout. It's so funny to me. I think it kind of had like a, you know how like when you heard like Cameron and people playing with the samples and stuff like that? It was like that, but it was on a level like where it wasn't as easy to interpret. Like it's a little bit more covert.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Heatmakers and Just Blaze did a lot of that.
Yeah.
This is more subtle and intricate. Rather than just, you know, like, I really mean
it wasn't.
You know, it's different.
And it wasn't, and it was totally meant to be that way. Like if you're not really gonna listen, this isn't gonna mean anything to you. You know, so Ghost Town was one of my favorite tracks. I know it was you guys' favorite. It was one of mine. Violent Crimes. So as we talk about North and all of that throughout this track, he's touched on this before. We Major, I think was what he talked about.
That's definitely it.
We pray to God that she don't grow breasts too. So you know, talking about
feeling
having
better than some head on a Sunday afternoon.
And this was so funny because it had such a, it brought to life again for me Nas' Daughters. If you remember Nas' Daughters, that beat was so much more up tempo, but a self-reflective track on, I've been a nigga all my life, this is how I've been acting, and wow, I got a daughter now, and I hope that this same situation isn't transpiring.
And he says that in the album. He says that in the
album. And so then when we get into Ye, it's pretty much the same take with a whole different level of creativity as far as production and things like that. I was in love with this track. Funniest thing is I have no kids, but I feel like I can relate. Like just because of the whole fact of when you think back to like your like talking about like conquering instead of nurturing, like that is definitely an issue I had like in my early 20s. And then when you get to a space where you grow and you say, man, like God put women here for a whole different reason than what I'm utilizing them for, you know what I'm saying? Then you get to a space where you're truly challenged to look at women in a different light and what they're really here for, you know what I'm saying? And so as I'm and I don't have a daughter, but I know that that's probably going to be this song is going to be even more enlightening, you know, down the line.
So it definitely was for me because I do have a daughter. So those same fears and the same mental battles that he has is very real. I tell my daughter all the time, I say, babe, you got to stay little forever. And she always laugh and say, I'm not going to stay little forever. I'm going to grow up and whatever. So we that's our little thing that we laugh and joke about all the time. Me telling her that she got to stay small because I know what's outside of these walls, and you know I know how these guys are, and you know
what you've done.
Exactly. And my thing is, you know, I think about some of the things that I've done that were, you know, not so great, and I think about, you know, it's like, but you know what, I'm one of the good guys. So imagine if she runs into a not so good guy. You know, that's a very, very real fear for me, and he painted the picture well. So this is definitely my second favorite track on here, just because it was something that was so easily relatable.
Yeah, when he talked about also want her to be built like him and not built like her
Oh, yeah.
mama.
Yeah.
That was so dope because you would much rather your daughter be flat chested and all of those things as opposed to being built like Kim, because that's gonna bring problems that she ain't even ready for. You know what I'm saying? So that was dope to me as well.
It was a dope track.
Yeah.
Man. It was very well put together. Dej Loaf, that was surprising, but she did her thing on that. The vocals on that was straight too.
Yeah. So when I think about probably like when we get to like track 4 or whatever, from that point forward, it was so transparent.
Yeah, I agree.
It was so transparent, and I think this is a side of Ye that people don't get to see often. So this is where I thought it was his most transparent of albums, like, and probably his best work as far as transparency. When I think about where it falls in the album list for Ye for me, because then I challenge myself to go there, I realize like it's still probably not in like my top 3.
Yeah, not in top 3.
Uh-huh.
I thought about that coming in because I knew it was going to come up.
Yeah, I got. It's pretty. I mean, this speaks well for Kanye, but I mean, it's pretty low on his discography. In my opinion, though, it's better than Life of Pablo and Yeezus.
Like, I felt like Push's album only needed 7 tracks. I felt like Ye's needed 9.
2 more?
I felt like Ye's needed 9. Because I felt like when he started to get transparent, when he was really digging in, it ended. You know what I'm saying? And anything that's great is always going to leave you desiring more, but I felt like there was so much more to be said within this snapshot of his life. To know that we're probably not going to get another album for 2 to 3 years.
I could dig that.
You know what I'm saying? Now, the other thing I started thinking about is the him and Cudi project is coming.
This made me
Friday.
more excited for him and Cudi joint.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, okay, I'm going to listen to it. But now I'm excited to listen to it.
I have the same
just
level
off
of
of Ghost
excitement
Town.
that I had before. Like, I hope Cudi does not take him to a space I don't want to hear him. Like, that's... I get on... Like, I think what it is with Cudi's sound just... I don't really hear growth in Cudi's sound.
The monotony.
Yeah.
Duh, 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 duh.
And the
Just
same
like this track, that's
vocals
Cudi.
and- yeah.
I dig it. That's how I feel about J. Cole last 2 albums, too, though.
Yeah, and I think like everybody has their artist that they feel like that about. Like, I don't hear the greatness of Cudi that everyone else does. I never have. So when Cudi's wave went away, I was excited. Like, thank you.
Damn.
Like, I was
He was
excited.
excited his wave went
I was
away.
excited because I think that whole Cudi's the dopest and Cudi on everything. I got so tired of hearing Cudi give me the same old things on everything. Now, I will say that there were certain tracks like where he kind of brought out a different side, or things like the vibe was totally different. Like, what was that one that I Poke Her Face sample they used?
Yeah.
That was a dope Cudi to me.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, stuff like that. So there are points that I really have liked Cudi.
Common
But
killed
Cudi
that,
as
by
a
the way.
whole,
Yeah.
he did. They all killed that joint.
They did.
They said you should do it for the love, like Rachel. That was such a dope track. But Cudi as a whole, I'm just not the biggest fan of.
And I'm not a huge Cudi fan either, but with the battles and the obstacles and turmoil that he's had in his life, I'm excited to hear his transparency along with how that'll be coupled with Ye and some Ye production. So, and before this, I had little to no expectations. I didn't think it was going to be dope or bad. It was just like,
But the Cudi
okay,
or the
it's a
Ye
collab.
album?
No,
Oh, the
the Cudi Ye collab. I was just like, okay, we're going to get a collaboration album and we'll see what it is. Now I'm excited. Not like overly excited. It ain't like, like a push release excitement. But now I'm just like, okay, I'm interested. I really want to hear this now. I want to see what they have to offer.
Yeah,
Just
I
off
want
the
to hear
strength of
it.
Ghost Town.
I want to hear it, but I want to hear it more for... Well, I guess this is a space that I feel like we're not going to get all dark beats and emo beats. Now, after hearing this project, you feel like we are?
That's Cudi's vibe, man.
But that's what I said. So that's why I said that's going to take away from Ye's space. Because you got this melancholy Ye or this somber Ye mixed with this very optimistic Ye within the same tracks at times. And I just don't think that Cudi... I don't know if he's going to add to that vibe or if it's going to go all dark. Now,
Well,
I feel
depends.
like now, I don't feel like I'm going to get it all dark. So I still feel the same way because I I don't believe in Cudi as much as everyone else, but I'm happy to see Cudi in a different space.
Yeah.
So maybe it's going to provide a different form of himself. And I think Ye is in a very different space.
I'm glad you said that. I think that's really going to determine what we get is the space that they're in. Because you got to look at the similarities that both of them really have in regards to what they went through. They both battled, I'm not going to say a mental disorder, but, mental instability or bouts of depression. They both dealing with, drug addiction. So both of those are things that we may end up hearing come out in, those vibes of transparency within that.
But I don't think Cudi will go back down that lane because he did that with the last project, Passion.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, I'm not saying that that's what we'll get. It's more so dependent upon, first of all, when these songs were written in their headspace that they were in when it came out. If all of this, transpired, with Wyoming trips this year or, something like that, then you might get
It did. That's where he said it came from.
So it might be. It might not be that same space, but it just really depends on where they were at when they decided to.
I don't think there's going to be
a creative space they were
a
in.
Nike Yeezy Kanye. I don't think we're going to get that vibe that, like you stated, the Poker Face and the Lonely Stars.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get no real bubbly tracks.
I think it's going to be more on the Ye end because it seemed like it's following the pattern with Pusha's album. This album, if it stays in that same tone and all 5 drop with that same vibe, I'm here for that.
The production is nuts.
Yeah.
The production is nuts. Through two, the production is nuts.
2 for 2 right now.
He is definitely 2 for 2.
The production is nuts. And I wonder if him having, Ye never has time frames for real.
Yeah.
So him forcing himself to work on a time frame, I think changed his focus as well.
So you're saying Deadline Ye might be the best when it comes to production.
Deadline Ye. Deadline
He definitely killing it.
Being forced to put something
He's
out,
killing it.
And then saying, here's these 50 tracks, we got to pick 35 or whatever. Yeah. But knowing that I'm going to create something dope with every track.
That 4th one for me, that Nas album's the one that's going to...
That Nas album going to be nuts.
That's the one that's going to... That's the tail of the tape
that
for me,
Nas album's going to be nuts.
Man,
that's the tail of the tape.
I think Tiana Taylor's album is going to be
I know
dope
Tiana
too.
Yeah, I know
Taylor's
hers going to be dope.
Nuts.
Because I ain't going to say
You know who I
she's
wish
been
got added
stifled.
to this list, and I don't want to get y'all
Iman
too
Shumpert?
That was a good one.
Nah.
Go back to episode 25 if they catch that one.
Please don't.
Sci-Hi or Consequence?
Sci-Hi.
Getting
If Sci-Hi got a 7-track project like this, I just feel like his would have had to been too soulful for Ye in his current space. But
that would be nuts though. That would have been crazy.
But yeah, so let's mild scale it. We didn't do it yet.
4
from me.
I'm gonna give it a dope 4. I know we're not doing quarters no more. But I got 4 1/4. I'm gonna give it 4 1/4.
Yeah, 4.5.
Ah, come on, man. I don't want to give it a
man
half.
Had a quarter.
Let me
man.
get that quarter order,
3.7 over here. This nigga.
Right.
That quarter's like
retarded.
a spill, man. It's like a top over.
No.
So now
man.
I'm changing, man. It's 4.197.
No.
Well, mine 4.23,
so
man.
Huh?
4.23.
I like that.
No, I'm gonna give it a legit 4. It's a solid album.
4.
It's solid.
Yeah, I'm with you. 4.
It's solid.
I'm teetering on 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna go 4.5.
I ain't mad at that.
I think I'm gonna go 4.5. I think that one early production kind of hurt it for me. Yikes. And just the vibe of that track at some points. And then I felt like I needed another couple tracks, even though it wasn't within his format.
You know who was used perfectly on this album? Ty Dolla $ign.
He was.
This is the Ty Dolla $ign that I like.
Up.
I don't need to hear a full project because they all sound the same to me. But ad-lib Dolla $ign, whenever he's on somebody's track, he's just doing yeah. That's so hard to me, man.
Again, just that,
the Jeremiah on it.
Jeremiah did his thing. That just really speaks to how Ye can, fit people into a certain space, and he just utilizes them well. The features.
The last two tracks had all of the lights feel to me. How to through everything.
Yeah, the features really shined on this entire album. I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay, let's jump into a Thought, man. I don't want Thought to take us
Two
to a
different
back
style of
seat.
albums, man.
It's
So
a
what-
totally
hard.
different vibe.
So Thought dropped, and it was an EP. Let's make it clear. It was an EP, not a
5
full-length
joints.
album. 5 joints. Knife did the majority of production, and Crisis did one beat. Which
fourth
those
one,
two
right?
together, I can't remember exact numbers. I had to look it up. But
I thought it was Making of a Murderer. Was it Making of a Murderer?
Yeah, as we get into
fourth one,
it was the 4th one. So I'm a big Crisis fan too. Always have been. Anything Soul Council is gonna be dope. But when we think through this project, one of the things that like really stood out to me, the first track, how he came in, because I don't know, I felt like this sound was gonna be very unique. You know, like it was gonna have to be unique. First track, I felt like it was there. Like there was enough drums, there was enough busyness. Because I feel like Black Thought sounds the best over horns and busy beats. Yeah, busy beats. This beat was very busy in the background, and it allows him a lot of versatility and flexibility within the track, and kind of ride the beat in different ways. Which he has a skill set that like nobody else really has to me in that area, where he can just kind of flip flows and go. And then the other thing I really want to know is how long it took Black Thought to come up with this album. Like, was this like, did they make this in 2 hours?
5 minutes.
I mean, because we know he's been one taking joint, like 5-minute, 3-minute verses and stuff. But this joint, the first joints really stood out to me. That joint was so hard to me. And I think the other thing that I love about Thought, and this kind of went on throughout the project, is when Thought becomes braggadocious, it's in such a still humble way to me. Like, it's more about the trip to Paris to get his fedoras and stuff like that than it is about I'm the greatest rapper to ever touch the mic type thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and then he stays in that space for such a short amount of time. That isn't the whole basis of his track. You know what I'm saying? I think, and he takes you on so many different trips throughout one track that it becomes overwhelming probably to the casual hip-hop fan. Like, as you're listening and dissecting his bars, it's just like, wait, there's more? Wait, there's more layers?
I don't even think you got to be a casual hip hop fan. I think just listening to him is just, I'm still taken aback by the way that he does certain things. And I like the fact that you brought up flipping flows and his cadences. What I like to liken Black Thought to is like, he weaves in and out of traffic on different beats and different flows, and it's just like at some point in time you expect him to crash or stumble, but his breath control and his cadence and the way that he can just he literally styles on beats, and it's ridiculous, man. That's the thing that blows me away the most when it comes to Black Thought. It's just the way that he just carries himself on a track. He has such a dope presence that a lot of rappers don't have. You know, you can get lost in the way that some people sound, and I think his technicality gets taken for granted.
That's the
because
thing.
we just used
His
to
technicality.
The dude is beyond awesome. His technicality is just, I'm blown away by that.
Yeah.
Even if you listen to those early Roots albums that was more of a jazz fusion,
Crazy.
the way he rolled some of the beats
That's
on
what I'm
those
saying.
albums,
It's
the Do
like,
You Want More?
Yeah, it's
That's
a
the
very
best
unique
word.
skill
Technical.
set. Very unique skill
A
set.
lot of people don't have it.
215 was just unintentional rap Olympics.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Let me show you what I got.
Yeah, it just was
He
like
make it
this
seem
is-
so easy.
Yeah,
And it ain't.
yeah. It was such an unintentional rap Olympics to me. Like he was going all over the place with stories and going up and down and taking you in and out. It's kind of I don't know, for some reason when I always want to liken him to like Muhammad Ali of rap. Like no matter what style
That's a good analogy.
or way
That's
you go
dope.
about it, like he's always gonna win. No
He
matter what the
rope-a-dope on
matchup
them
is.
joints.
Yeah.
Right. He's always gonna show you some
Yeah.
style you haven't seen from him before. But he's gonna still give you the technicality of it too, right? So Muhammad Ali, right? We know he would get totally he get into rope-a-dope mode, he get into trying to bait you, but then he could still fight so technically as the fight went on. You know that ultimately whatever strategy he employed worked down the stretch. Feel the same thing about Thought. And then the other thing is Muhammad would have to go 15 rounds. Thought seems to go this for like 5 minutes, no hook. You know
Not a problem. I got this.
Right. So for some reason he always reminds me of Muhammad just over a beat, man. Like
that's a good description.
Yeah, so
sure.
just extremely eloquent, I think, throughout this this set of beats. One thing, man, I'm gonna have to say, I think that the features were misplaced to me.
What?
I did not like, number one, I did not like what's the name of the track that him and
Styles.
No.
Rhapsody.
I actually like that beat. That was a beat.
Rhapsody.
The joint with him and Rhapsody.
She tore that down.
And I was gonna say, I felt like that beat felt more Rhapsody-ish than him.
What is that? The Dorsky?
Yeah, that joint. I wasn't
Dasky.
the biggest fan of that beat. For Thought, it just felt like it limited him.
None of the beats
in some
bothered me.
ways.
I thought the production
but
was
I think
pretty
that
solid.
yeah,
Because I was here for the lyrics. The lyrics helped the beats to me.
Man.
But see, I think that's the
Man.
thing that I get into with Thought. Is Thought's skill set makes things look better than what it is.
Yeah.
Like if you were to take Thought off that beat and play it, you'd be like, I'm not feeling this beat like this. You know what I'm saying? But when Thought is thrown on it,
I can see that too.
but I didn't feel Thought on this beat. I felt Thought's bars on this beat, but it just felt so out of place, and I felt like the feature was misplaced. And then I felt like I wanted to hear Rhapsody on. Was it Thank You?
The last track. Yes.
That was a fitting beat for Rhapsody to me, and where her flow was, I felt like that would have fit better into a project for me. And then I guess it's always like a few people I always think of that can go that I wanted to hear on this joint with him. I really wanted to hear Elzai play Rap Olympics with him back and forth on the track.
That would have been dope.
Instead of Styles on that one beat. Now Styles, I think after about 12 to 14 bars, found his groove to me.
It took a while.
It took a
minute,
long while, but when he found it, he rode it. And I said, you know, if we put Royce, Elzai, or Fonte on that track, there's no attempting to find the flow. They would have got that joint out.
Did this album
Styles-
need features?
It took him.
Did this album? This
No,
project,
I don't
think
I
it
think
needed
that the feature
features.
took away in this
Yeah.
situation.
Of course, you don't need features. We talking about Black Thought. That's just like
but
saying.
normally when you use a feature, it's to enhance
To
the
add,
project.
yeah.
I think this took away of
I-
Black Thought's rawness in terms of an entire project by himself.
Totally disagree. Rhapsody tore this motherfucker.
No, she
down.
had a dope verse.
She
It was
had a
dope
good verse
In
to
a-
me, a solid verse.
Nah, it's better than
I
solid.
felt,
I thought she
I felt like the
killed it.
beat was more of something that he walked in and she was already on, and he was like, "Yo, I like that."
My brother producing. I'm about to get on.
Yeah, like, I like
feel
that.
like
I like
since
that. I'm gonna jump on that and kill it.
since you brought up boxing, I feel like, you know, sometimes when you got a pay-per-view fight, you gonna have a whack undercard, so it's just like, man, you don't know what to expect. I think she came out and she bodied it. The undercard was amazing. I felt like Black Thought's first verse was pretty dope, and then her verse came on, and I was like, man, yo, Black Thought following this up with another verse after this was it. I think his last verse was, you know, even better than his first one, but her verse was absolutely dope. I thought it complemented each other well. I thought she killed it. I thought that it's probably, I ain't gonna say it's better than the opening to Layla's Wisdom, but it's close.
No, I think
It's
that.
close. I thought her verse was that.
So
For
that
me-
brings up a good point, because I was gonna say no. Go ahead, because
For
you
me,
haven't spoken on it yet.
The tone of the album was kind of thrown off with the features. Now, even if you go back to the title, Stream of Thought, based upon was the first two tracks, Knife versus Thought and 215, he bodied those. Even the verse before Rhapsody, he bodied. I think they were used as fillers, or they probably heard that he was in the studio making the album, so Styles was in the area. Oh, let me get on. Oh, come on, get on since you're here. I don't think it has a description, if you will, in terms of needing to be on this album.
Well, I would say, I think it was more of a thing to me. Like, it felt like Thought wanted these two people on the project with him, and didn't really think through how they fit in with him. That's what it felt like more so to me. Like, so yes, Rhapsody fit into this track, but I don't think that this was a Thought vibe track to me. But Thought is so creative that he made it work. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like if I'm getting 5 songs, I should have got something else instead of that. And I would have took Rhapsody on the last track. Because that was more of the Layla's Wisdom intro vibe to me, of go ahead and murder this. Or that track she had with GQ on her album. Like, this is more of that vibe or flow that you can utilize here. But I felt like in this capacity, it just kind of felt out of place to me. And I know they have a Stream of Thought 2 ready to go.
Yeah.
Knife was talking about. So I'm interested to see, can we get some different features or something, if he's going to use features at all. But like, the third track, the beat just was not ideal to me. I love the Crisis joint. I love the last joint. Absolutely love the first joint. But yeah, if I had to throw away a beat on this joint, it would be the joint with Rhapsody.
And even if we were to go into like the length of the album, we always somehow like short projects.
Yeah.
If they added maybe 3 more songs or made this 8, I wouldn't have a problem with Rhapsodies or Styles on this.
I wouldn't even. Do you think that, because this is the space I was in, 5 Black Thought tracks over regular hip hop, like not the live band beats, was a lot to process.
It was a lot. You're right.
It was a lot to process. Like, that was like a 5-course meal.
I listened to this project several times too.
It is. And you know what? I felt like I shortchanged it in the beginning, just because I was really into trying to dissect the Ye. But then once I actually listened to Black Thought's album first, because they came out on the same day. So I was like, I'm gonna give Black Thought a spin first, and I listened to it one time through. I was like, this is dope. Then I got into Kanye, and I kept listening, and then I got back into Black Thought, and it's definitely cold. Rhapsody, I'm gonna be honest, I not that I was ever down on her, but the more and more that I start to listen to her, the more and more I'm starting to just be absolutely impressed with just the way that she carries herself on the track. She's starting to have quite a bit of presence about her when she hopping on tracks, no matter who she hopping on it with. And I definitely felt that when you hopping on a track with a heavyweight like Black Thought, and you hold it down the way she held it down, I was very impressed. Not that I didn't think that she wasn't capable, because I mean, obviously, hearing what she's given us before, I knew she was more than capable. But still, just being able to not fall into the shadow of what Black Thought can cast on you, I thought was dope.
Yeah, I think her skill set would allow her to fall in the shadow of nobody.
But who, like, I think would have.
I'm not. That's not a knock on her. I'm just saying, with a person like Black Thought, you gonna cast a large shadow regardless.
I think Jean would have fit better.
That's exactly where I was gonna go. So Jean was the feature I think that I would have replaced Rhapsody with.
Hell no.
Because that
not after what I heard.
She would have Rap Olympics that joint.
You've been doing good, Brandon.
What?
No.
I'm a diehard. Jean is my favorite female rapper. Nobody messes with Jean. Like, and did you listen to Jean's project this go round?
Yeah.
And if you listen to Jean's project this go round and listen to what Thought did, Jean would have fit right into that. Would have fit right in wherever he wanted to put her at.
This might be the best. That might be the best track on there to me, with him and Ray.
I think that was the worst track to me.
I'm gonna say it's the worst. I don't think it's the best one.
Tripping. I think it's that.
I mean, but like saying that it's the worst track is like giving it an A-.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we already thought that the album.
Like,
of course not. Yeah, because we all think that it's dope, but I don't know, man. I thought she came through and killed it. He killed it. I thought the production on it was decent too.
Yeah, I think we're in a space like where I was trying to think. So I'm thinking Thought top 5 is always what the conversation is, and so dropping this project, did he move in the top 5?
Currently or all time?
All time. Because I don't think you could leave him out of the top 5 currently.
He was in there before.
Yeah, currently he was in there before. All time?
No, I'm talking about all time. He was in there before.
Oh, word?
Well, remember he dumped M.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yup, since November of 2017, he been in there for me.
I think this was like a Lil Will move for me.
I think you can. I wouldn't be mad at someone having that now.
I think this is the Lou Will move to me. Like 6 man that could drop 50, but he's on the verge of. Like, I think after Stream of Thought 2, it might happen. It might happen. Like, but this was I always crack up when somebody can make me concentrate while listening to their album or listening to their project. Thought, Lupe, Doom.
That's a good question. Is he in your, I'm still on that top 5. That's a good
Thought,
question.
Lupe, man. Doom. Most depending on what he's on. Like, those are the cats that make me have to concentrate and be like, everything needs to be silent around me if I
especially Doom, man.
Yeah.
You can't be doing nothing listening.
No. So I have to be at a unique space if I'm gonna listen. Yeah.
Locksmith too.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to catch the name. Locksmith. He'll have you thinking.
Yeah. But they're gonna give you so many layers to one bar. You're gonna be sitting like, God, I gotta think. Let me. And then I'll have to pause the track and chill and be like, oh my God, that was so hot. I don't want to miss nothing else processing that one bar. But yeah, top 5 for you?
I'm gonna say yeah. And I know who I moved out of my top 5.
So I think deeper into summer I want to have this conversation. I
it.
also want to bring up who's the greatest MC, Jay-Z, Biggie, or Nas talk with that 1 week too.
Okay. MC. Remember.
MC.
That's Yeah.
Okay.
Who's the greatest MC, Jay-Z, Biggie?
I don't think it's close.
Okay. Well, at one point we'll talk about it. But
go back to episode 14.
I don't even think like Aaron has to sit in on this episode.
No.
Like, this is no debate. But yeah. So
I mean, if you asked it in a different way, we talking about a better rapper, I would have a different answer.
I want to make an MC bracket, like we did the Kanye bracket.
I'm with it.
You with it?
I'm with that.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to rank it. I guess we'll do it in the summer. We'll do it in the middle of the summer.
Cool. I'm with it.
Okay. All right. Rate the project.
This project.
Mild sauce it up.
4.
Another 4 for me. Yep.
4.
I have it at 4.
No thumb.
I have it at 4.
Yeah.
I have it at 4.
Cool.
I'm kind of ready for Stream of Thought 2. They shouldn't have. I knew it was there because just how both of them can just work together. I think this is probably effortless for them. But yeah, I'm ready. So yeah, I would give it a solid 4.
Yeah.
A little less than what I expected from a Thought solo joint, but I think I also expected a full length joint and some different features.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be an EP.
I didn't even know it was coming. Did y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Yeah. I actually was like, when it got ready to be Friday, I was so in a space of like, which am I going to listen to first? Because I knew production-wise Kanye was going to challenge me, but then I knew lyrically Thought was going to challenge me.
I did the Fool and listened to Kanye first. Then right after Kanye, I threw this on. I had to stop it, because my mind was still in Kanye's vein. I had to dedicate both of these artists to a single day.
Yeah, I listened to Ye probably about 9 p.m. on Friday. And I think I listened to Thought at like 11. I was on the way headed somewhere, and I just looked at the amount of time I had, and I still ended up getting there and sitting in the car.
Yeah.
Like, God, this is dope. Like, it was hot. So
yeah, it was hot.
It was like I was sweating while processing. Like, yo, this is so fresh. But yeah, 4.
Was it the weather or was it the bars?
Both of them. Both of them. All right. Just what other thing? So, Steph was right about Drake Push beef. I'm really. So I'm gonna just say this. Jay Prince came out and said that. Oh, first off, let me say this. He's promoting a book, so I'm sure this is why he stepped to the forefront to say what part he played in this. But said that he told Drake to dead it. He had something that was pretty much gonna kill Push at that point in time. And that he told him to hold off on it. On the flip side, it's been reported that Ye told Push to hold off on firing any more shots too. That is like both of Jay Prince and Ye's perspective is that we're grown men and we should leave this alone. Jay Prince is more. What did he say that? You don't want to get in the pigsty with the pigs. You know,
Man, this is the
just
art of
crazy.
this is the art of the battle.
So if you're
man.
gonna say that,
So I think
Go ahead, finish your thought.
yeah. So I think the one time that grown black men are allowed to be petty is in rap beef.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a black man law. It is the only time you're allowed to be petty as a
Nigga
man.
moment.
For real. Right, right.
Absolutely.
Like, this is what rap beef is all about. And then I started to think, if Pusha T and Drake got into an elevator right now, are they gonna throw hands?
no, I don't think so.
No,
I don't see that happening.
no. It's gonna be a couple petty jabs, and one of them gonna get off the elevator.
Yeah.
Drake, I'm getting off on this stop.
Right.
Right.
You
here.
probably don't want to. Probably don't want to put no more tracks out. Probably see Terrence like. Probably don't want to put no more tracks out, dog. I probably got something that you don't know I got. Like, that's how I perceive this going. So
I can
if it's
see
not anybody's gonna die, let it ride, man.
Well, I don't like.
That's my vibe.
I think what Jay Prince did was super weak. If you gon' because you said Kanye did the same thing, right? He said,
Yeah.
"Yo, Push just did that." And so if Jay Prince told Drake the same thing, just did that. Why are you going around
'Cause
telling
he
other
has
people
a
about
book
it?
that he needs to promote about
fuck your book.
respect. That's the
My
whole
thing,
point.
my thing, no. But
You
my
use
thing-
rap beef to make money, man.
then promote the book. You ain't gonna talk about the rap beef in the book. But my whole thing is
You
this:
talk about the
is
disrespect.
Don't usher in the fact that it's like, oh, he got something that could have ended Push's career, but I told him not to say it.
He's gotta
That's
create the
weak,
hype.
dog.
He's got
It's
to
no
create the
hype.
hype.
It's no hype if you're not gonna bring it out.
When I
There
heard
is
Jay
hype.
Prince say that,
I'm
I
talking
knew
about it.
Kanye
That's
did.
hype.
I mean, he
That's
didn't
not
do
hype.
anything.
If any, it didn't hype me up to listen to it. This doesn't make me want to listen to this so-called track he got. If you bout that action, then bring it. I don't want to hear about.
Do you not think that he's not about that action because an OG told him chill? Do I think that Drake's pettiness level, the track is gonna come out at some point?
Then bring it out. I don't need you talking about
But
what
niggas
your,
ain't gonna do
what your
everything on
daddy
no
told
time,
you
my
not to
nigga.
do.
They ain't sitting
It's
like,
like-
Aaron, what time do you want me to bring it out?
No, I'm not saying don't do
You're
it for
gonna
me.
bring
I'm
it,
saying
you gonna bring it
don't
at
bring
the time
up.
frame
Don't.
that you think is best for you.
I'm saying don't bring this shit up at all.
I don't
Let's
think
go.
Drake got not one word
I
to say
don't
back.
think.
I think he does.
I
I
think
don't
Jay
think he got
Prince
nothing.
I
made
think he
Drake
has
look
a-
even worse.
I think he has a well-formatted track. Do I think that it's gonna kill the story of Adidon? I don't know. But I think that there's a well-formatted diss, and you never know how those things are gonna go because you don't know exactly what he's gonna say and how he's gonna frame the bars and all
That's
of
true.
that. So, do I think that he has a well-formatted diss with a great beat and all of that? Yes. Do I know if it's gonna hit harder than story of Adidon? No.
The thing about Drake, his other beefs, I don't think he's had an MC that was as formidable as Push.
Nope.
So you just can't come out there and give
He ain't
us
had nobody on that level of petty.
With Meek, he didn't have nothing to go back and forth with.
Yeah.
Whoever else, everybody else was subliminal.
And the other-
Push, you got to be ready.
And the other thing I thought about is like, I know Prince, like, because Clips fired shots his way previously. I believe it was Push that said, and we only respect Jay Prince for rapping a lot, and talk through in an interview about, I can't remember if it was him or Malice, but talk through that we respect his business knowledge and all that, but that's all we respect about that nigga. Like, there is nothing else, his gangster, nothing else that I respect about that nigga. So I think that Jay Prince also knows I'm going to use this to promote my book, but I also want to make sure I don't catch no stray shots in trying to promote my book, because Drake obviously is on the same level of petty as Push, but Push is so much more.
He does it better.
If I'm Push,
He doesn't
now
have
I'm
any
definitely
skeletons.
gonna send a shot.
And he said that.
He doesn't feel like he has any skeletons, so I think he's airing with this confidence that I don't know that Drake is firing from a space of emotion.
Yeah.
I think Push is firing from a calculated, nigga, I'm ready to bring the layers to you. Like, okay, let's peel the next onion layer back. And I can just keep going, and I'm going to use this to catapult my album to the next level. I still think Drake is going to drop something week of. Even if it's not that diss, he's going to throw some shade
He
in
can't
his
take
direction.
too much time, man. That album better be coming within the next 2 weeks.
But it's supposed to come in June. So I would guess that it's coming in the next 2
2
weeks.
weeks may even be too long. He can't wait.
It's
too long.
already too long. And then Jay
I
Prince
agree.
just made him look a lot worse
Yep.
in my eyes. I mean, but who am I? Don't nobody give a
If I was Push, I'd
My-
release
my-
the joints anyway.
My thing is this. It's like
Oh,
don't be the nigga who almost almost did something. It was like, oh yeah, I was there and I almost did something. I almost jumped
Who are
in.
you referencing, Drake or Prince?
Both of them. Don't tell me about what you think he almost about to do. If I'm pushed now, I'm definitely gonna send a shot at Jay Prince. I'm just like,
Well,
oh
he's
man,
already sent shots
it's
at
like
Prince.
well, I'm
That's
saying
not
more.
gonna do.
I'm talking more because you can't tell me it's like, yo, man, both of y'all need to dead this because if you don't, he definitely got something that could kill you. I just told him not to put it out. Boy, you're weak as hell for that.
But that's the
Beat it
whole
with that,
thing.
dog.
Is it's a promotional tool. If someone told you right now that you could put out a stupid statement like that and make another $100,000 this week, would you do it?
But I'm talking about if it's predicated on something that I'm going to do,
I'm
that's
saying-
fine. You speaking on another man.
I'm saying if it was you in these shoes and you could say, my brother got some heat and that's all I have to say this week and I'm going to make an extra $100,000 this week, would you say it?
Not at the expense of looking like a dumbass like him.
I don't think
I'm
this
not-
makes Jay
no.
Prince look bad at all. It's more
I
on
don't.
Drake. It's more on Drake.
Because he
No.
doesn't rap.
That's my thing. I it's making him look
We're
bad.
frowning
But
on
I
a nigga
Drake.
for making a smart business move.
You talking about
A
Drake?
book
look
that had
bad.
no hype. I've got a whole following.
you're gonna run. You want to read it now?
I'm all I'm gonna say is I'm a lot more aware of it, and everyone else is on this promo tour. He's on Breakfast Club in the morning.
That don't mean I'm gonna want to read the book.
I don't care what you gonna do, nigga. What I'm saying
That's
is
what I'm
the
saying.
nigga is gonna make money.
Okay.
You don't.
So
I don't think,
your
you were never
objective
gonna
is
read
about-
the book anyway. You had no even if you had exposure to the book, you weren't gonna read it. What he's
That's not
ultimately
true.
doing is trying to. You have exposure to it now,
and it made me not want to read the book.
so you were gonna read it before. How to?
I
Respect.
didn't know about.
So
the
now
book.
you have exposure to
And
it.
it
So
made
you
me
have the
not wanna-
opportunity to choose.
Yeah.
Right. When you have no exposure to something, how do you choose it?
We have a battle of the lights,
I mean,
and
but
when they
that's
get
what
together,
I'm saying. Is choose the way that you're exposing it.
So okay, so you have this platform that is just sitting on a pedestal that's very easy to.
I'm not
access.
talking about the platform you choose, and I'm talking about the way in which you
I'm-
expose it.
Let me finish, my nigga. So you're on this platform.
When
you have
my
this
skin
platform of
goes
the two
wrong.
biggest things in hip hop, and you're within this culture of hip hop for the last 30 years. Do you use the highest form, which is rap beef with one of the top talents in hip hop? Do you utilize that platform and be in this nigga's OG and use 2 sentences to catapult my book into the stratosphere? Or do I wait and try to promote it in other ways that I feel like that the regular niggas of the world feel like is more acceptable?
Yeah,
and
that's
make
definitely
$20,000.
So you think
And
this
you'll
is
be
gonna,
a broke nigga with acceptable ways.
He ain't broke now.
I'm
You're
saying
not, if he hard up for money, then yeah, go ahead, Jay Prince. If you ain't got no bread, which we know ain't the case,
books aren't the easiest things to sell in this.
he's not going. This book is not going to sell off.
Watch.
So this gonna be
You
this,
thinking that is very naive.
This gonna
It's
do numbers.
very
This
naive.
gonna do numbers like
Yeah,
Charlamagne book.
Yes.
You nuts, dog.
Yes. This is very naive
Yeah,
to
you-
think that it won't.
Okay, we'll see.
To think that it won't do numbers based off of.
next week we will have the New York Times best-selling list to find out which
Right,
one of the
that's
lights
fine.
are
Guarantee
correct.
Jay Prince ain't gonna
I
be
don't
on
even
that.
know what date the Jay Prince joint drops, but I know that it's gonna have hype around it. Whether it has a
Alicia Keys'
anything.
coloring book is gonna have better numbers than this nigga.
If Alicia Keys' coloring book was brought forward during the Drake and Push beef, I'm sure it would have more sales.
Bottom line, Jay
during
Prince. What Jay
right
Prince
now they
did
could
was
say
sweet.
blank black T-shirts are important during the Drake and Pusha T beef, and niggas is gonna go check for black T-shirts. This is one
Them
of those
niggas.
things. There's no way that you can be attached to this beef and not make a lot of money. Whether you're getting beat down on, no matter what's happening, you could be just errant bars in the diss track that everybody laugh at. There's more people talking for 40 tracks now than ever. Right now. Because he made jokes about 40. Like, anybody attached to this beef is gonna make money.
Okay.
Easy money. Easy money. So I think it was a smart move by Jay Prince.
That
By
shit's
Jay
sweet.
Prince. But Drake, you're a grown man. You can make whatever decision you want to make. So if
You
gonna
can't
wait
be
it
mad
out-
at free promotion.
Right.
And that's what he
Right.
getting.
Yep. He's eating. He's gonna eat very good off this book. And I think it was a very smart move. If I was in the same situation and I'm on a book promo tour and I'm not getting the type of light I'm trying to get on this book, I'm gonna throw Jake's name around with ease. Get paid, Jay Prince. Oh,
I
best
not
sellers
off the
list.
expense of another nigga.
I don't know what expense that is.
Hey, Drake got the wherewithal to be like, yo, don't do that, don't say that. He ain't said nothing.
He felt some type of way about it.
It is what it is.
I'm sure Drake's gonna do more sales after this.
You know he'll own it in cash money.
Drake was gonna sell regardless.
I think he's gonna do more. I knew he was gonna sell regardless.
That's something that we can't tell.
I know he would make more money. Any additional attraction, like I think from a marketing perspective, you have to understand anything that's drawing additional attention. Right, that disc came out a week ago.
What, Adidon?
6 days ago, right?
Yeah.
That drew additional attention to Drake's album. Although Drake got crushed, he's gonna sell more albums. When 50 Cent was spanking Ja Rule was selling. And
he was selling before.
And then when he finally sat down and didn't really take shots, he totally got abused in the sales category.
He was selling before, though.
I
he
agree
didn't
with
sell
you.
More because he was beefing with 50?
If we under the guise of people are going to buy the album to see if Drake responds on the album. So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you don't, if you continue to get spanked around like this, if Push drops another one, and that's where you start to see your sales dwindle.
Drake was going to do numbers regardless.
Obviously,
big
my
numbers.
nigga. Obviously.
Big numbers. So
like,
how
tell
can
me something that I don't know.
So then how can you say that this is... you wildin'. How can you say that this was going to do anything more?
I said that it's going to do more because there's more attention on it. There's people that don't check for Drake albums, that don't like Drake, that are going to go listen to Drake's album. They're going to streak this album to try to hear something.
So I guess it's more the difference of being just throwing out an arbitrary number. The difference between being platinum originally, now people got something to look forward to being double platinum now.
Yeah, I know Drake people that are waiting on, people that hate Drake that are waiting on Drake's album right now. Let's see if there's going to be some shots fired back. That's easy money. That's more sales than what you were going to get. That's more streams than what you were going to get.
That's dumb. If you don't like Drake, you're going to wait on his response?
It's rap beef.
But
this
if
is what
I don't,
niggas live for.
But if I don't like somebody, why am I going to listen to their music just to hear their response?
Have you ever heard a rap beef of somebody like beefing that you didn't like the other nigga and you listen to his response?
No.
Just to hear what he said?
No, not at all. If it's somebody who I don't like, I'm not going to...
At the time frame that I did not like Ja Rule, when he would drop a diss towards 50, I was definitely checking for it. Just to hear what was said, to hear what 50's rebuttals was going to be like.
Yeah, I was the same way. I when Clap Back and all that came out.
I don't like that person's music, I'm not going to go listen to it just because he...
No, not listen to it, but...
I'm not going to sit through... I'm not saying that I'm going to go fall in love with his album. I'm saying I'm going to go listen to
the response.
Track
to the response.
To whatever's going on. Good, bad, or indifferent. Subliminals, all of that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. If I don't like that particular artist, I'm not gonna listen to him whether he in a beef or not. It's just I ain't checking for him.
So you're not listening to the beef there.
So you're not here for the beef.
No, not for somebody who I don't care for. So if Migos got, I don't listen to Migos.
So if Push
music.
made a diss track about Migos, you not gonna listen to the Pusha diss?
And
no, I'm not gonna listen to the Migos response.
But they say Migos response is fire from the Pusha diss.
I don't care because I don't like the Migos.
You have to listen to the second part of the beef.
How you gonna tell me what I'm gonna listen to?
Because I know, my nigga.
This nigga, he always talking about what he knows. He always talking about what he knows.
That's facts, nigga.
Xtra over here. Get the hell out of here. It's a wrap on the show.
Yes, my
Take
nigga.
it off.
Xtra is that nigga. Know that, my nigga. The fact that you're so lost in the world that you say that I'm going to listen. I'm not going to listen, but you the first one, whatever it's a rap beef, to be the first nigga in a group chat wanting to talk about it.
Because
no matter who it is.
That's not what other beef have we talked about? That's not
this
true,
is the hottest beef.
Man, I'm about to
so then you can only predicate this off of just this beef. We ain't talked about no other beef, dog.
Dog, an emotional nigga like you, I know how you respond to rap beef.
I'm not going to listen to any nigga I don't like. That's dumb.
Okay.
Why am I going to digest any music that I'm not interested in?
Because
it's the dumbest shit in the world. Because it's rap beef.
Yes.
That's just like being all into just pop culture all the time. I'm not. Why would I give a damn?
Pop culture.
You're talking about something that's popular. And that I'm going to digest or feed time into something that's popular if I don't like it.
No, it's not pop culture.
That's what you said.
This is hip hop. Rap beef is totally different from pop culture. Smack DVD. There was a lot of beefs on Smack DVD that I cared absolutely nothing about. Right? But there's two beefs on Smack DVD that are important. You watch the Smack DVD and you catch some of the other stuff because you're watching the Smack DVD. Or there's a beef between somebody that I really like this nigga and I really hate this nigga.
Or
right?
since it's Smack
and
DVD,
they say,
if it's some shit
said,
that I don't care about, I'm fast forwarding through that joint. Get Me to the Freeway and who was Freeway battling on Smack DVD?
Cassidy.
Freeway and Cassidy.
Right.
I'm fast forwarding through all them other niggas. I don't care about you, bro.
I'm not talking about a situation where you don't like either nigga. I'm talking about where you like one nigga and you don't like the other nigga. And the nigga that he's going against drops something that references or is going through the same things, and there's a lot of hype around that track. You're gonna go listen to that track just to hear what was said, so that when you hear the response, you can speak to why it was dope or not. That doesn't.
No, I just be like, nah, man, I just didn't listen to it. That nigga whack. I just don't listen to him.
Okay. So
you can't digest beef without listening to both tracks.
And just say,
So just say Push is what you're saying.
Push is beefing with Tekashi. Push is beefing with Tekashi, right? And I'm saying Push just killed Tekashi in that beef without ever listening to Tekashi at all. I can't say that.
First of all,
I can't say that.
Here's the thing: there's no beef where there's no major beef or noticeable beef or popular beef where it's one weak ass nigga and then one person.
50 Cent.
No,
both of them was popping.
Ja Rule was no. I said one weak nigga. When I think about lyrically everything, to me, Ja Rule was weak at the time that he was beefing with him.
Ja
he had a lot of
dope
music.
Okay,
he had dope music. I didn't say he didn't have dope
music.
He was
Drake before Drake.
I'm talking about rap beef. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, so in that situation, what I'm saying is ultimately it was a lot of singing, a lot of all of that. I wasn't checking for Ja Rule at that point in time. When there was rap beef, I was checking for the rap beef stuff and nothing else from Ja Rule. That's all.
I thought Ja Rule had the records on Smash and it was dope. I was already listening to Ja Rule, even the
to your point, I did not like Ja Rule.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So then,
but I was forced to listen to just the beef tracks from Ja Rule.
Right. So that's the way that you digest
his album. I wasn't sitting up drinking, Rule 336 plastered on my walls, nothing like. But I listened to the beef tracks. Right, but those are not albums that I liked. But did I listen to the rap beef stuff? That's all. Yes.
I get what both of y'all saying. Y'all agreeing.
I'll wrap it up because we at 122.
Because y'all just being difficult because y'all bright. But y'all saying the same thing, man. Y'all saying the same thing.
I'm never trying to get to your shade this summer, my nigga.
Hey, that's where it's at. Everybody want to be there.
I just ain't. I'm never gonna devote time in the music that I like.
Leave y'all comments on rap beef. That'll be a good read, man.
Yeah, we'll get some comments off that for sure.
Alright, man, that's it. Nothing else to address this week.
It's a good closeout track.
Good closeout track. That's your track. I saw you turning red, man.
Me turning red?
I have to simmer you back down.